Let's bring it back to that Whitestone Sunday word, the word courage. Without courage, I would not be here today. Without courage, I would not be talking to you today. But in courage, I found the word hope. And hope is really what brought us here today. I'm here today to give you the message, Finding Hope and Courage. So why am I here today? I'm here to be with all of you guys. I'm here to tell you my story. So I began my YOU journey as an 8th grader. We would go into the YOU room once a month, first Sundays of the month, same Sundays as Taco Sunday, so the YOUers were busy. And we would sit with them, and we would experience their lesson as Uniteens. And if you don't know what a Uniteen is, it's the middle school group here at Unity Church of the Hills. It's what the middle schoolers are called. And so we would go and we would sit with the YOUers once a month, every month. And that's what we did. And we would experience the collaboration, the family dynamic kind of. And so I graduated. I went from 8th grade to 9th grade, and I became a YOUer. And then I took a step into that YOU group pretty hard. I became the youngest YOU officer in our church's history. I became the communications officer my freshman year. And there had never been a freshman officer before that. My freshman year was a lot of fun. There were about 10 to 12 of us in that room, and we spent every single Sunday together. Every single Sunday together. Not only would we spend those Sundays during the youth time together, during, actual church, but every Sunday we would go to Starbucks down the road for probably about 2 hours, and we would talk, and we would laugh, and we would be there with each other. Those people weren't only my friends, though. They were my family. And I love those people so, so much. Right? So my freshman year continues, and we're working together, we're collaborating, we're doing stuff. Kind of some of the stuff we would do was we would pack Easter eggs for Easter Sunday. That was a thing that we did. Or we would, talk. We would do joy songs. We would check in with each other every single Sunday, right? And then we went to my first rally, which was December of 2019. And that rally was cool. I'd never been to anything like it. And if you don't know what a rally is kind of a church retreat for people in YOU, for high schoolers. And you sit with other Unity chapters, other YOUers from other Unity chapters, and you talk, and you do things together, and you work together, and you worship together, right? At that rally, I came across my first real mentor in YOU. He told me I was the most courageous person he had ever met, right? He's here today, but I won't name drop. But he told me I was the most courageous person that he had ever met. And I took that, and I used it, and I took that word courage, and it became my Whitestone Sunday word that year for 2020. Little did I know that Whitestone Sunday word would bring me full circle to this moment. Because you know what happened in March of 2020? COVID hit. And what turned into an extended spring break, which was only supposed to be 2 weeks, turned into 3, and then it turned into 6 weeks, and then it became a year and a half. And it became a year and a half, just like that, right? So we started navigating through COVID as a YOU group. We learned how to do Zoom calls together, and we did those Zoom calls. There were about 20 of us in there sometimes. That's a lot. We would invite other Unity chapters to come join us in those calls. Was it the same? No. Was it good to see my friends, to see my family? Yeah, it was. I love seeing them. But as time went on, people got busy, and the Zoom calls started slowing down. And that was okay, because it happens. And eventually it got to being just a sponsor and I. That was hard. People started moving, people graduated. I understood. And I still understand. But it was hard until, it was hard. And then it got to a point where I was the only one sitting in the Zoom calls for an hour and a half by myself. And Linda would pop in and say hello for about 5 minutes. Say, "Hi, Silvia." I'd be like, "Hi." Right. And then she would leave, and I would leave, because at that point, church was over. So that happened. And then about January, March of last year, of 2022, that's when things started opening up again in here. And, we tried coming, but we kind of were doing this hybrid thing where sometimes it would be on Zoom and then sometimes it would be on person. And that was really hard. And it was really lonely, really lonely. Because sometimes I'd show up and I'd be the only person there. Sometimes a sponsor would be there. And that sponsor that was there eventually made the decision to leave, part ways with being a sponsor of YOU. And that was really hard. That really, was really hard. But that's also when I decided to take a break. I decided to pause my journey in YOU. I took a step back. I needed to take a step back because I was sad. Right? So I took a break and I began working more on Sundays, and I used that time to do things from me. And in about June of 2022, my sister approached me and she goes, "Hey, Sylvia, we have this silly little idea." And I'm like, "Oh boy, what is it gonna be?" She goes, "Let's have a YOU lock-in." I'm like, "Oh great." So I start coming back, and at this point, we gained a new sponsor. Hi, Joe. Right? Joe's great. We appreciate Joe. We love Joe. And my sister is like, "Well, here's the idea. We invite as many people as we possibly can to this thing. And if you don't know what a lock-in is, it's basically where you literally get locked in the church overnight with a bunch of high schoolers." Yeah, scary, I know. But it was all good. And that lock-in was a lot of fun. We brought in about 10, 15 kids while you were Uniteens. And, it wasn't as crazy as we thought it would be. Actually, for example, we were playing hide and seek in Unity Oaks. And the one rule is that you couldn't climb on top of anything because it was dangerous. Well, one of the teenagers didn't break that rule. It's actually one of the adults watching us who broke the rule. So, it wasn't that bad, but it was fun. And we had a water fight the next morning, and I'm sure some of y'all walked by us and was like, "What the heck is going on there?" Because I was like, "What the heck is going on here?" But it worked out. It was fun. And that gave me it lit a fire in me. It lit a fire in me to keep going, to keep wanting this. So I took my step back in, and I started working my little butt off. So we began with trying to bring back everyone's favorite, Taco Sunday. Yeah. That was our first big step, and we did it. The first Sunday of January of 2023, we brought back Taco Sunday, as to much of your pleasures. So we did that. And then as we're trying to bring back Taco Sunday, we also gained a new sponsor in September of 2022. I forgot. Hi, Jennifer. Hi. We're big fans of silly little ideas. We're big fans of silly little ideas. This couch was a silly little idea. I approach my sponsors and I go, hey guys, what if we bring back YOU Sunday? They look at me and they're like, girl, what? Right? They're like, what is that? And so I have never done a YOU Sunday before. None of us have ever done a YOU Sunday before. We've only witnessed it. So we're kind of going in here, and we're going in blind. But as you can see, we're here today. So something must have worked, right? Something must have happened. But let's bring it back to that Whitestone Sunday word, the word courage. Without courage, I would not be here today. Without courage, I would not be talking to you today. But in courage, I found the word hope. And hope is really what brought us here today. What brought me here today. Hope is what pushed me to keep going and to be standing here talking to you guys. I find hope in my sponsors, in my friends, in my siblings. Thank you guys so much for being here, truly. And for having hope in me. But we had to take that step. And this is a reference, it's a movie reference, it's an Indiana Jones reference. You know, when he steps in and he just goes for it. And it works. Right? We take that step. Without that step, you can't do anything. You have to take the step. I took the step. Look at me now. I'm here. I'm talking to you guys. Hi, hello. Right. Sometimes you need to take a step back in order to get it done, in order to be there, to be present. I took that step. Hi. Hi. That step was full of courage and full of hope. I mean, and I was nervous. I'm still nervous. Like, my hands are sweaty, you know. But you gotta take the step sometimes, guys. Even when you're nervous, even when your hands are sweating. So, take that step, guys. Thank you all so much for being here and for joining us today. It means a lot. Take that step, guys. Take it in.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.